Either way, 6-1. We're going to get a tactical timeout from Renegades as they try and figure out a way back into this game. The plant's going to help out with their money, but it's still not looking great. And it's a hard decision as well because you know you've brought the economy low. You know you just had a 4-kill round. You know they have to do spend a lot of money on rebuys, so you want to keep that kind of pressure on. But you still don't have a very good buy yourself to feel too confident in actually winning the round.
Yeah, right. That's just kind of seem like FaZe have Renegade's number. Everything they've done has been read very well by FaZe here. I mean, you could see early on, for example, we saw the aggression come out from olofmeister, netted in the frag and a JKS, and then they win out the round on the back of that. That round there, I mean, Guardian clutches out in the 1v1, so now Renegades with this partial buy, Deagles almost across the board. A little bit of utility to try and work with. JKS spots out Olof. He tries to go for the information peak over here at B. That sends him reeling back into the safe embrace of NiKo, who now looks to try and assist inside the B-bomb site.
And Renegades have to decide where they want to go. They have utility for an execute, whether that's towards outside or towards inner, but they're still spread out. At the moment, they can't really make a decision. They need to get more grouped up in order for that to happen with just these pistols, and it looks like it is going to be towards the inner site. The bomb is here. As you said, some damage onto Olof. The tough part is Rain is waiting at the bottom of that ladder. His position's so strong for so many different reasons. And Olof playing far back. That M4, even with low HP, can do plenty of damage as they come in, and Rain's hearing all this information. At the moment, it's just people jumping, trying to bait out some shots from him, and they succeed in a way. He does take out Ustillo through the floorboards, and now no one from Renegades really wants to mess with that. There goes Guardian with the AWP. That's Nifty trying to peek T-mid. It's all down to these three players to hit inside. Aza's going to try and lead the way with the CZ, but he can't be feeling hopeful.
NiKo holds the cross. One man's able to get by, but Naf isn't too lucky. That's the bomb dropped, and while Az is allowed to go aggressive, he has pushed up with the CZ. Doesn't get anything done. NiKo going to come in with 2 frags, and FaZe, they will go 7-1. Pause called in once again from Renegades. Seems to be a pause every other round right now.
That's a pair of quick pauses, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're at a loss at the moment, so trying to figure things out. This is an important buy. The AWP is going to be in Nifty's hands, probably the best buy they've had in maybe this entire game so far, and they need to start putting rounds on the board. See where Nifty's going to go with that all. Not a whole lot of kills overall on the Renegade side of things. NiKo's at 12-4. He's feeling good. He's had a pretty good day. I guess that's no surprise.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that AWP up on Nifty could be the difference maker here for Renegades. Olof going to go and take this aggression. Oh, shot miss from Nifty, and now you have the support coming on in. That's Karrigan to try and assist. olofmeister will go down, but there's Karrigan to answer back with 2. Those trades pivotal here for FaZe. As he retreats back, Guardian going to start the rotation round to try and help NiKo out here on A, but NiKo might not even need that. Finds the first. Still 2 more left to go. Gonna go walking into the arms of Ustillo. Bomb still yet to get safe passage into the site. Guardian locking it down from the bomb train. This is no easy feat for Renegades here. Although catching Guardian off guard like that definitely helps out. Karrigan, 2 pivotal frags early on, and now has to try and clutch this out. 1 versus 2, finds the first. Azur's tagged low, and Karrigan's going to do it. An 8th round for FaZe, and a fantastic 1 versus 2 clutch from the brains behind FaZe.
Yeah, what a great round from Karrigan. I mean, first FaZe lay that trap again, the one that didn't come to fruition last time, but this time it works out perfectly. Even with olofmeister getting taken down without a kill, Karrigan at top surprises the hell out of Renegades for 2 kills there. And then at the end, obviously, Ustillo doesn't think it's even a remote possibility that Karrigan just walks right through that smoke. Big, big risk to take, but it pays off. Karrigan with a couple of kills. The assists go to Olof. Great, great round from FaZe overall with the big clutch. And Aza just not prepared to recover after that plant. That's backbreaking for Renegades, you feel, because they had an advantage into it. They're able to buy again with the help of that bomb plant. AWP out Nifty, some nades doing some early chip damage onto the Australians. 4 players outside for FaZe, as Olof hasn't seen anyone cross just yet, and Rain walks right into the crosshair. Nifty. It's an easy kill, easy opening. That's going to help Renegades immensely. Got to make sure he preserves this player advantage, though. Being aggressive, I think NiKo might have spotted that. Oh, this is a deadly situation to be in.
Oh, NiKo spots Naf, but Naf going to get the better of him in that engagement now. 2-man advantage up for Renegades. Guardian trying to do what he can, tag low in the process, but he's been able to get one. Karrigan falls in the meantime. Both the AWPers out on a fall, and now Olof left in the 1-on-4. Going to try and force the issue up through the smoke here, and Still holds the angle, walks on out, but he finds it. And on the back of that, Renegades will be in with their second round here on the T side.
Yeah, they needed it, and they still have the money low. They've done a good job, at least in that sense, of getting to a point now where this buy for the FaZe is the last that they'll have in the bank built up. So Renegades with a chance, if they can just string two together, if they can just win this round, they'll have a couple easier ones against Deagles, against CZs, which aren't a cakewalk, but certainly better than going against Guardian with an AWP and NiKo with the M4. Nifty's forced into the flames and tries to go up the ladder. He takes a bit of damage. It's not too bad. Olof is falling back, and he's not able to get away. He's completely blind, and he runs into the wall. He gets stuck. Another opening kill for Renegades. Can they capitalize on it? This could not have started out better for them.
Yeah, we saw how things can go their way when they get off to a good start in that previous round. Now, they've got the man advantage once again. Guardian going to try and answer back. Pushing on up over here towards main, spots the man crossing, but doesn't manage to do much on the back of it. Now you can see Azep starting to rotate down. Going to rejoin Ustilo over here towards Ivy. The rest of the guys presumably going to start to line up these smokes and flashes in towards A.
Здорово, в общем, сегодня очередная тема.
All quiet across the map as Renegades lining up the smokes. Ustilo over towards Ivy. Karrigan's rotating back towards the B bomb site, but you imagine he'd turn around any second now. Guardian with the op is forced away by a smoke, so they have an avenue into the site. Rain is pretty much all on his own. He's aggressive, and Yard, he swings out, he gets the dink, but he's not able to finish it off. JKS and Nifty are low. Karrigan, he's up next. He finds one. Guardian chiming in. Things are getting easier for FaZe, and there's another kill coming out. It's a 2-on-3. Naf has got to do something. There's not even a kill. Karrigan swings around as NiKo gets the other one. And again, Renegades are stumped just when they have a glimmer of hope. FaZe respond and they sustain moving forward. It's 9-2. Renegades surely, even with the battered economy, are going to buy into this round, but no. They actually go for the half buy. CZ's, a scout is coming out on Naf. Playing for the next round, and it's a double op setup for FaZe. Karrigan picks one up. Guardian has one of his own. Both of those going to be outside. Olof seems to have been tempered some of his aggression as he plays far back. Nifty eats a nade, but he's peering over the trains trying to find a kill. Or just information. He's brought down to 9 HP as well by some stray bullets from Rain, and he almost gets picked off with a jump back. Flirting with death there. JKS has made his way in thanks to the passive setup inside. The rest of the Renegades team is following up, but Guardian's got an op zoned in. There's no utility to block them off. They've got to fight their way in, and actually, they switch it up and go outside. They swing through a smoke. There's a kill for NiKo. Rain chiming in as well. The bomb has made its way up, but there's no chance for a plant. They were hoping that fake from JKS inside, that his presence would force more of a rotation, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah, now he stands alone. 1 versus 4. Bombs down over on A, and it's not meant to be. Guardian will be able to finish him off nice and easy. That's going to be FaZe in with another round, and this CT side right now is looking fantastic. Money still fairly low. Renegades have kept them modest. That's one thing to bear in mind. All it takes really is Renegades to win one round, and then you kind of see that reset potential come in. Yeah,
the problem is there's only so long you can live by that silver lining if you're Renegades, just because you actually have to win that round that finally breaks them. They haven't been able to do it yet. Still now, they have the danger of both AWPs on board, and also Rain is going to try and get in towards ladder room, and he's going to make it. No one from Renegades pressuring ladder quickly throughout this half. An aggression towards Ivy yields Karrigan an opening pick onto Ustilo. Not prepared for that whatsoever, and that's the only presence they have. It's going to be a lot of information for NiKo if he eventually decides to push and go for a flank, but we really haven't seen Renegades try and force anyone from FaZe out of this position, so Rain is having a great time. even NiKo when he's been there. Olof is going to spot this out, the shoulder peek. And that's when Guardian decides to rotate in.
Yeah, this dynamic duo inside of B really going to be tested here, and they nearly line up for Guardian. Azza in with the trade, but they haven't accounted for Olof, who still resides inside the site. Here's the players moving around from all sides. Azza does check it, spots him. Bomb plant going to come on through, but it's Rain hot on their heels with this flank that could make all the difference. Denies the bomb plant, and that's crucial. Azza's pushed all the way up. Nifty's inside the site on his lonesome, and Azza's going to go down to Karrigan. Nifty left 1 versus 3. Does manage to take the first. Nearly makes it 2. Bomb down in the site. 33 seconds left. Nifty has to move quickly here. He's going to start to make his way in. And both Karrigan and NiKo falling down just to keep an eye on this bomb. They know where Nifty is. They know his whereabouts, and they very much have his number here. Starts to peek on in. Only 10 seconds. Time of the essence, and he's going to actually go for it. Goes bounding into the site. NiKo finds it. Lets the timer tick down just a little bit too low. Forces his hand. He has to go for the bomb, and or, you know, all the frags. I mean, no information as to where either of those players are. FaZe, they managed to win that out.
Yeah, he knew he was at a disadvantage everywhere he went. It's tough to even criticize the decision right at the end to just go to your death. Dominant for FaZe. Renegades not able to really. They've actually had a couple rounds earlier on where it was decent that they were finding some opening kills. They were finding some success, but they haven't been able to convert that into enough round wins, which is so heartbreaking. Even just 1 or 2 wins at the right time earlier in the half, and this could be completely different because Renegades would have had an advantage in terms of the money. FaZe would have been on the back foot with only pistols. There's Karrigan, actually, death by 1,000 cuts. It's the Deagles who chime in for 2 kills. NiKo, I think they know he's here. He's got to fight his way out. There's one spinning with the spray, holding down the trigger, but there's just too many targets. They bait him into an awkward situation, and Olof has finally arrived to even things out. Into a 2-on-2. And Renegades, while they are going to spread this defense thin of just 2 players, they haven't been able to salvage any weaponry.
Yeah, now pushing on out. Guardian lies here and wait, spots the bomb. There's still a minute left, but they're in a position where they can't double back from JKS. Now left 1v2 as he loses. Naf going to go for the bomb plant. Fakes it out in the hope. Guardian actually went aggressive. Nearly catches Olof there, just off by a thread. And now Guardian's going to start to push up through the smoke, residing in it now. Realizes this is the real deal. JKS caught out, but he's able to find one. Goes for the spray, and Olofmeister pushed round the back. Catches JKS unaware, and that is going to be a 12th now for FaZe. This is a impeccable CT side from them, and Renegades, they haven't really been in this. This is kind of their last-ditch attempt. They do manage to get a decent buy together, but now it's do or die.
And Olofmeister, JKS, excuse me, I feel like just with a little bit of luck, he actually had a couple shots in that could have won the round for him. The kill on the Guardian was nice, spraying over to the right. He also had that pre-fire through the smoke to try and get Olofmeister. So a couple of chances there of JKS, a little bit more fortunate. And then you could see the shake of his head at the end just tells the whole story. Completely frustrated. Renegades obviously feeling like they don't have an answer to this. Straight up execute towards the outer bomb site. Here come the smokes and flashes. Rain's brought down to 4 pretty early, and he's got no good options. He is dropped by Ustillo. NiKo's going to buy himself some time with the smoke and a wrap around the other side of the bomb train. Not able to get Ustillo. It's Karrigan next. He's lurking into position. There's a nade kill from Guardian, and Karrigan does find it. Olof on the flank. He's not into the action just yet.
Yeah, Guardian starting to peek out from Connector. Here's that flash, knows that it has to have come from over towards E-Box, but still cautious as to the man inside the site. JKS trying to peek through that smoke. Karrigan goes charging on in. They can't keep this man away. Time working against them here, though. They're going to go and bait out the defuse. JKS, so many angles to watch. Turns round, Olof's gone down, and now Karrigan, 1v1, goes pushing in, finds the frag.
Oh, this is going to be close. This is going to be so close. I think he's just about got it, and he does. Just barely. Beautiful teamwork. Olof was poised for the flank that whole time, was waiting for the fake bomb tap defuse to drop down ladder, distracted Naf just enough for him to get that kill. A dominating, a suffocating CT side out of FaZe, and Renegades is lacking 2 rounds throughout the half. We're going to head to a quick break. We'll see if Renegades have anything for us in the second half. tough times for the Renegades team. They've looked so good recently, been very impressive in some of the results they've had, but here against FaZe, they seem outmatched. It's 2-13 going into the second half. It's been all FaZe, despite an insane, like, this is the crazy thing, is that it almost feels like it could be worse, because one of the 2 rounds that Renegades won was a 1 versus 3 clutch by JKS. So without that, they really didn't have a whole lot to feel happy about in that first half.
Yeah, now the Pissed Around literally decides their fate in this one. They desperately need it, or else this is pretty much all said and done. And already it's off to a bad start. Nifty is not looking too healthy, tagged very low early on.
And you could see how confident Nico is. Like, when you're up 13-2, you just feel so much better about making aggressive plays. He wasn't going to slow down at all. And because they know they got that much damage, that Goosh onto Nifty, they just join up to the Zenit bomb, so they're just going to hit it. They know they've got one player softened up. He's got to at least be far back. Olaf is going to lead the way down sidewalk. There's one jumping up. They weren't ready for the player in the site. Easy kill for JKS, but he gets the follow-up, but does force the plant to stop. He's got to be careful. There is still one above him with low HP. That's Nifty, who somehow managed to find a kill. There is a flank coming in for FaZe, but they're under a lot of pressure to even survive at the moment.
Yeah, Rain is sneaking around, but Azza gonna be doing the same thing. Oh, that was quick. Guardian's gone down. Now Rain, they know that he's there. They know his whereabouts. And as a result, things get tricky. Karrigan holds it close. Does find damage. Now he's 1 versus 2. They're inside the site, and Karrigan wants a little bit more. Gonna be in with a second. 7 HP. Tries to escape from Naf, but it is not gonna happen. Defuse comes on in. Renegades, they keep the dream alive as the boys went out the pistol.
I don't know in what dream world Karrigan thought he was going to get away from that fight, trying to run down that lane with his knife out, using the rarely seen burst fire as well. Either way, they do get a plant. That was, I mean, a pretty cool idea from FaZe overall. That plant out in the open is obviously meant so Rain's flank could be so much more effective, because he could stop the plant from far, far away. He had a P250 for just that purpose. They just took so many losses entering into the bomb site they weren't expecting to have, that it didn't really matter in the end. So Renegades buy themselves some time, and there's an AK-47 on Guardian that yields absolutely nothing. They're going to pass it over to Olaf, who's the other player with armor. Where does he decide to go with it? Nico's brought down, trying to get a pick with the Deagle. Still, this AK-47 hasn't been able to get involved, and so much HP has been lost on the FaZe side. Here comes the peek towards Ivy, and Ustilo doesn't even want to mess with it. He's just going to smoke things off. Karrigan's already through it, but he's only got a P250. He pushes up and gets taken out. AK-47 investment here not yielding any results for FaZe.
Yeah, Olaf finds himself over towards Ivy. Rain just lying in wait here, hoping that Naf doesn't check this. You can't imagine a world where he doesn't. Ustilo does go down to Olaf, and Olaf hasn't been tagged or anything yet, so still some room for this rifle to do damage. Very weary, the idea. That's the bomb dropped. Olaf gonna fall to Nifty, and that will be Renegades in with their 4th. The aggressive force there from FaZe doesn't yield any fruit.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of like the idea. Hopefully, I mean, you're not necessarily hoping for a win if you're FaZe with that kind of a buy, but you are hoping to at least get 2 or 3 kills, deal the economic damage. We're going to get a tactical pause early on from Renegades in this half, actually. So they want to talk things over. They know they're not, you know, as dire as it seems, they're still in their head planning for a comeback. And I guess you kind of have to use your timeouts early in this scenario. But I believe this is their 3rd of timeouts. They took 2 in the first half during that rough stretch, we'll call it.
Yeah, it's been very, very polite.
Well, we'll see what they come up with. It's a Scout in Nifty's hands, M4 and NAF, 3 SMGs on the other side of things. And for FaZe, just Eagles. Some armor on Rain, couple nades. Karrigan has an HE nade, which is interesting to say the least. The 1 HE grenade purchase. Oh, Nico had a chance there. Does tag Azza down to 63, but he's going to get into ladder room. Nico's taking a lot of damage for that.
Yeah, there you go. Karrigan falls. That ladder room control is worth its weight in gold, especially when you're up against unarmored opponents with an SMG. There's almost no way for them to get that trade, so they're on the man advantage firmly in the hands of Renegades here. The only man in any danger really is Ustilo, who's pushed all the way out through Ivy. Does run the risk of going down as Olaf holds this with the Deeg. But just as you said, Still is able to find that no problem. Rain now starts to peek in towards B, wants to see what this site has in store. Unfortunately for him, it's JKS sitting pretty with the UMP. Misses those opening shots. Rain goes back in for more, but he's been tagged down low, and it should be a clean round for Renegades here. Rain with 7 HP, Nico tagged to 41.
Yeah, and this is going to be great for them to be able to bring all 5 players into the next round alive. They'll have the always fun question of how many of these do they upgrade. Obviously, the Scout would get upgraded. The question is the UMPs, or do they want to go aggressive with them? And I mean, at this stage in the game, when you're down this much, it's tough to make the call to keep the SMGs. You just need to string off rounds together. So the UMP is at least going to stay thanks to the armor pen. Actually, JKS upgrading to an M4 as well. Still is the only one still on that. Guardian's got the op, 4 AK-47 surrounding it, and good utility on 3 players. Smoke's already deployed. This is where Guardian is most dangerous. We know he can be so deadly in T-mid on train, especially if he's given time, and he's not. Naf finds him, an aggressive peek, a courageous peek, and he's got the result he wanted. Kerrigan does come down ladder and clear out Ozza. That was a kill that Renegades was never able to have, but the spam in return from Naf. Nifty now chiming in. Big advantage for Renegades.
Yeah, Rain and Nico left alive. Rain is able to take the first, and these 2 players, they are incredibly good on this map, so can't count them out just yet. Nico going to be holding at range with the AWP. Going to fall prey to Nifty there as he peeks into it now. A minute left. Oh, Rain doesn't want to go back up there anytime soon as Nifty holds the angle. Definitely getting their attention here as Rain just darts back and forth. Going to be allowed to get himself the AWP. Has to try and contend with Nifty. Players pushing on up as well as everyone from Renegades drawn in towards this last man for FaZe, and there's Nifty. Able to finish things off. Renegades in with a 6th round. And while, you know, the road of the comeback is a long and perilous journey, they are very much, you know, down that path.
It's at the very least, it's getting out to a good start, right? I mean, that's exactly what you want. That's all you can hope for if you're Renegades, because it really is, you know, just the cliche 1 round at a time to make this happen. And the good thing that you see from Renegades, though, in this half is that round they're aggressively peeking into these choke points. You know, they're not being afraid, and that might have been what the timeout was. Like, guys, even though the scoreline's this bad, like, the only way to come back is to play your game and not be afraid as if it was a close game. Don't play scared whatsoever. So at the moment, Renegades not looking afraid despite everything. Utility out. There's Ozza and Naf with a couple of kills. Ozza's got 2 in the round. Guardian gonna fall here, and another good thing that Renegades is doing is they've done a very nice job of not taking a whole lot of damage in these anti-force buys and these pistol buys coming out of the FaZe side of things, which is no easy thing to do considering the players on FaZe and how good they can be with deagles.
Yeah, I mean, you have to commend that, right? I mean, when you look at it, they've built up a very healthy economy as well. Naf going to be sitting on $10,000, JKS just behind, along with Nifty. So money's looking good for the future. Can't say the same for FaZe. They've invested everything here. They are going to be getting that loss bonus, so Bomb Plant can facilitate buys into these rounds, but it won't be allowing the AWP up on Guardian, for example. Haven't really seen too much for them, though, just yet on these T side. So hoping they can try and scrape something together. Nifty going to be holding for the aggression. They're going to try and run boost into it. Oh, they definitely saw that one. Guardian perhaps falls a little bit short, tries to go for the frag. Now Nifty finds himself pinned on into the corner here, and that Molotov does burn him out, but he's allowed to escape. In the meantime, so much attention fixated down towards Ivy. It is going to be Kerrigan and Rain over here towards Popdog, trying to take control, and they will force Azza back.
That nade actually hit Rain and dropped at his feet, so it deals pretty decent damage, but at least they have control of ladder room at the moment. Nifty with an op now, still on the train, peering in towards T-mid. The typical smoke Molotov take for Ivy from Olaf Meister, and he's going to be pretty aggressive with it, all things considered. There goes Rain. The pop flash blinds him. He almost gets the kill. Ozza's down very, very low to 15. He's red. Olaf is the next one to make a play. He's got Ustillo off to his left, and Kerrigan pushing up aggressively. I think he spotted one on bomb train. Not sure if he actually saw it. Turning the corner now. There's one on bomb train. There's one above. And it's the op from Nifty just holding the angle. All this meanwhile, though, the rest of Kerrigan's teammates are making progress up the lanes. Nifty finds the kill, and now Ustillo's able to pounce. Really, really good round from Renegades. A couple of kills from Nifty. Really prevents any damage from coming out.
Yeah, and then they lose Guardian at the end as well. No hope of saving the AWP. There's money if they want to try and force something up, but I imagine we're just going to see a partial buy down about $2,000, leave them with more than enough cash to invest in the next. But that round buffer that they had that was so big that, you know, I mean, we said this could have just been decided by the pistol. It was 13-2. Now it's 13-8. They haven't been able to get anything done yet on this T side. We're going to see a pause called in for FaZe. First one that they've had to use. I don't think they're expecting to use any. I think they were very confident coming into the second half, and now things have started to fall apart around them.
Yeah, this is an interesting turn of events. Certainly not just in the least that Renegades is putting the rounds together and actually inching this scoreline closer, but more so because they've done it so well. I mean, they've had a couple of rounds where they really aren't losing a whole lot. Last round they lost 1. Before that it was all 5 survive, 3 surviving, 5 surviving. I mean, you haven't even seen some of the kills from FaZe coming out ever since the pistol round. There really hasn't been any danger. So Renegades is looking good so far on this defense, turning this into something interesting. Nifty's coming alive with the AWP. Naf is being aggressive towards T-mid. What does he have for us here? Dropping down, there's a couple players from FaZe right in this connector. There's 3 of them to be precise. Naf just waiting for them to show themselves.
And Naf gets the information. There are a couple of players there. They're aware of this potential incoming FaZe onslaught out towards the A-bomb site. They're going to flash Azza in, gets caught off guard by Karrigan, and this first time we've really seen FaZe start things off strong. They're going to now look to try and execute out in towards A, but Naf starts to shut things down. Rain will come in with an equalizer 3-on-3 foul, but Nifty's incredibly quick, and he'll finish things off in a spectacular fashion. 2 frags for him, and Renegades in with a 9th. Now 4 rounds behind FaZe in what was a 13-2 first half, now turned 13-9 in the second.
Yeah, this has been great out of Renegades, and even though they lost that initial player, they do a great job. FaZe gets the frontline kills, but after that, there's nothing FaZe has to make progress. There's no smokes to block anything off. There's no flashbangs, so it's just easy pickings for the Renegades players. Peeking at a bomb train, you still go out towards Ivy. They have all the opportunities in FaZe. What's the response this time? Molotov in towards ladder room. It is a slower paced round. They do have an op on Guardian. And Naf again is going to find an opening kill again on top of the train, just being aggressive, and he wants more. He wants Guardian. He's going to keep going for it. There's the jump up, and he does find it. Naf has been stellar for Renegades since joining the roster, and it continues here.
I mean, FaZe, they're just looking utterly shut down. They have no answer to this. Renegades fielding a very impressive CT side. Actually in a similar fashion to what we saw at the Starlight Invitational over in Shanghai. They were able to do the same versus VP. Now bringing a world-class performance here versus FaZe. Karrigan thinks he's netted a bit of an advantage, but it's very quickly reset as Nifty comes in with the trade through Connect. And now Nico's here on his lone, so going to try making some headway, pushing in towards the site. That Molotov prevents the cross. Olof's rotating in. And Nico waiting for his Swedish friend to come on in to try and back him up. We'll be allowed to get the bomb plant at least, but it's Azza on the flank that could make a very big difference here for Renegades.
Yeah, Azza had all this information. Olof and Nico both ran the whole way. Olof needs to turn around, but it's not going to happen, or it does, but he can't recover from the nade toss. Good round again from Renegades, even though allowing the plant, even though losing 2 players. Another win on the board. That's 10. And FaZe need to do a better job of not taking damage early on in these rounds. That's you could see they want to give Guardian time with the AWP to in that T mid to try and find a pick, to try and find something for have someone make a mistake and wander into his crosshair, but it's just not happening. Naf's not giving them time because he's being aggressive and he's doing it in a way that Guardian can't figure out. I think here this is where FaZe just decides to pick up the pace somewhere. I think you stop doing these slow defaults. I think you hit something and you hit it very, very hard. Some utility thrown outside, perhaps to mimic some kind of execute. But all 5 players heading towards inner.
Yeah, this is a bit of desperation, I think, from FaZe at this point. You're just going to try the 5-man B execute, as simple as it gets.
Oh, look at Ustilo. He's flanking as well. He's pushed all the way in Ivy. Any minute now, Ozza and Nifty are going to rotate in, and they're doing it just now. They've beat the execute as well. This is going to be hard fought for FaZe. This is going to be a battle.
Yeah, they're going to come pushing on in, and it is a slaughter. Right now, they get chewed up trying to go in through ramp, but actually, they've been able to find 3 frags. Nifty and Ustilo all that remain. And Nifty misses that shot. Karrigan goes pushing up, doesn't miss it the second time around in through the smoke. Ustilo here to help out. Man advantage might be in favor of FaZe, but both Olaf and Nico tagged incredibly low. That Molotov forces Olaf's hand out into the open. Ustilo going to capitalize, but the trade comes in from Nico, and now it's all eyes on Nifty. Starts to make headway, pushing on in. Nico right down below, but Nifty's quick, gonna go ahead and try and stick it. Guardian peeks out and lands the frag. FaZe, they're gonna look to try and make their way back into this one at 14-10. They finally get a T-side round, but they still need 2 more to win this out. Renegades, plenty of money to buy up.
This was a sick shot. That was a really cool sequence in the smoke as well. If he's able to actually get that defused, that would have been next level. Doesn't come through. Obviously, FaZe 14-10. The tough part is so much money has been built up from Renegades. It's going to take multiple wins from FaZe to deplete this economy. So they can't really get anyone freebies for quite some time. And Naf again continues his tear. So does Ozza. Ozza in ladder room. Naf towards T mid. That's 2 big kills. It's a 5-on-3. Karrigan does eventually respond, but he's brought down low. And Naf is just feeling it. Pop flash over the boxes. He's going to peek. He's going to find Olaf out in the open again. Olaf is blind and can't get back into cover. Renegades looking to respond here at 10-14. And even Nifty choosing to push up. He's pushed up all the way in inner. He's got an op zoned in those top stairs. So he's shrunk the map for Renegades. This is going to be so difficult for FaZe to make anything happen here.
Yeah, I mean, as you kind of stressed, the importance of Nifty being where he is, he's effectively nullified them having to keep anyone over towards B. You can see all their attention fixated on Main and Ivy, and yeah, it looks like the call to saves come in. Guardian falls back all the way into T-spawn. Karrigan gonna be waiting here as well, so 35 seconds to try and save. Renegades, it wouldn't surprise me if they go hunting here, right? I mean, try and deny anything you can. You've got enough money to buy in the next round regardless. They're going to keep a fairly healthy economy. They've also tagged Karrigan down incredibly low. Now we do see that Azza starts to push on up, as does Naf. Now Guardian positioned to try and shut down the play in through Ivy. Going to be tricky really for Naf to do anything here from this sort of range.
I mean, I don't even mind the idea necessarily to hunt these weapons down, but Renegades, they do have to be careful. They don't want to put themselves in a position where if they lose 2 players here, they're kind of helping the effect. There's an op down. That's going to have to be an expensive rebuy. They do take the AK away from Karrigan, but yeah, Nifty spends 7,500 into this round, and another pause coming out from Karrigan and FaZe. They've got nothing but Guardian's op, and they might even have to buy back into this, but it's going to be tough. I mean, Karrigan's at 650. They have a couple players. Ray, Nico, and Olaf can get the pistols, obviously, but this is now dire times for FaZe. Renegades has done it. They've made this comeback happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's been just spectacular, really, from Renegades. Almost lost for words. This CT side has been incredibly impressive, and I mean, FaZe, they've really struggled to make any sort of adjustment that's actually worked out for them.
And I mean, that's kind of the issue, because you're always going to have that conversation. Was this a good CT side from Renegades, or was this a bad T side from FaZe? And the reality always lies somewhere in the middle. But the fact that Renegades, I mean, Naf has been just a menace. He's been so aggressive, and he's denying everything that FaZe wants to do. He's getting multiple opening kills. Nifty with the op has been great far back. And they're forcing FaZe to fight for everything and take heavy losses in doing it. Again, though, FaZe going to go for this heavy inside hit. Pop flash going to come from afar, I would imagine, on NiKo. Nothing being shown by Renegades quite yet. They have 2 players inside. They've got 1 player directly underneath the ladder, per usual. And actually, they're just going to walk down. This is a contact play down the lower ramp. This is ballsy and not working out so far. There's a kill from Naf, a second one as well, and JKS is going to deny the cross. That's it. That seals it. So no plant for FaZe, no kills for FaZe. Renegades are going to get up towards 12 in a scenario where I think they're going to have to double save.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of like the situation where the cracks started to show, and then the more pressure just started to be applied to FaZe, the bigger and more obvious those cracks then became, right? I mean, when you look at it, they're making mistakes that you wouldn't really think that a FaZe roster would be making. I mean, we've seen, you know, Naf being able to take aggression time and time again, just things like that not being kept an eye on, allowing Naf just to run rampant across the map, and it really does restrict what FaZe can actually do.
Yeah, but it's also crazy to think that in a world where Naf is just like taking heads-up duels in like T-mid, that no one from FaZe can stop him from doing that. So it's a great performance from Naf, obviously. It's such a question. If you want to tell anything about how stumped this FaZe team is, they've taken like 3 timeouts in the past 6 or 7 rounds.
Yeah,
this is crazy. They've talked this over multiple times, and they just don't seem to have an answer. Renegades making it interesting, continuing this this improvement of performance, and each time they win something, they continue to surprise. 14-12 now, but FaZe has watched their lead dwindle incredibly. It's been a 10-1 run for Renegades in the second half. Azza, he's going to chase that down. He wants more. He's feeling it. He's feeling confident. And he spams right through the bottom. Rain did that to him in the first half as well, so he's just returning the favor. Quite kind.
Yeah, I mean, can't really expect anything from FaZe in this round, just with Glocks available. It should just be a clean one for Renegades. Question is can they do any damage, right? I mean, if Renegades keep 5 alive here, that's going to be fantastic for them. Whoa! Oh, all right. Okay, okay, Nifty somehow survives that. And, yeah, nothing to lose out on Karrigan. Tries to capitalize on the low HP player, obviously, and then that's where you've got Naf flying in wait to very, very quickly shut that down.
I was going to be unreal if Nifty was taken down just by a crazed Glock bum rushing him. There's a nice final kill from JKS, and Nifty's laughing it off, obviously. Got into a tough spot. That was a sick return, though, obviously, the USP. Yeah, the switch. I don't know if you thought he fired maybe, but just a quick one tap onto Olaf, letting him know who daddy is, so to speak.
Yeah, the question kind of becomes now, is it a matter of strategy? Is it just FaZe kind of missing these shots, right? We just saw there from Olaf, very uncharacteristic of him, right? I mean, I know he shouldn't have got that frag, right?
He did hit like 20 bullets.
Yeah.
It's just, it takes so much.
But right now, I mean, they've got rifles across the board. Don't have the AWP up for Guardian. It's going to be a push down here towards Ivy. Nifty is holding the angle. They go for the bait and switch. It does allow Karrigan to make it across, and now Nifty once again finds himself trapped here, but he still is able to rotate around very quickly to help out.
NiKo and Guardian are, like, even at this point, scared to go into team mid. They haven't even made progress in there. They're waiting outside of it. There's some spam coming through onto JKS. Really hasn't been a whole lot of pressure here. Just being cautious. I think they're waiting for the coordination between Karrigan and Olaf once that smoke clears, and they can try and make progress down Ivy. Try and coordinate some kind of pinch towards the outer yard. Rain just maintaining presence in White Halls. Keeping 2 players here. Naf is there, and so is JKS, so he can fall back. He's got Azza to contend with at the bottom of ladder room, and still, this attack, 40 seconds left. It hasn't made any progress, no indication of where it's going to come. Running out of utility as well, and Nifty, there's the shot. He nails it onto Karrigan. He can't fall back, though. He's just got to fight. Trying to show the barrel to keep Olaf here, and he does eventually fall. Guardian also chiming in. Naf has just arrived. He's the next one up, and he can do nothing. Rain eliminates him. Azza pounces, but he's exposed. They almost line up, but no kills go his way, and Olaf is wrapped around the bomb train. So FaZe, that is a hard-fought 15th round, and Renegades, they can still buy whatever they want. 13-15 as they have made an incredible comeback, but it could all end here. A pause for FaZe. One more pause for FaZe as they want to finish this now.
I mean, to have seen Renegades pull it back from a 13-2 half to 15-13, if they lose out now, you can't help but feel awful for them. I mean, this is a situation where I think everyone wants to see this go through to overtime.
Yeah, I mean, that would be stellar to watch, to be completely honest with you. Just because as well, like the 16K, I mean, actually Renegades has no issues buying in this whole half, but you would see some of the economy issues for, that we've seen on both teams' T sides just kind of disappear, which would be really cool. Both teams losing 2 rounds on their CT side so far. FaZe trying to get that third T win just to bring it. They want to avoid overtime, obviously. This has been too much of a comeback. They've been shaken just a little bit. Rain going to go inside. Azza and Naf pushing up. Azza's going to get into ladder room, as we've seen pretty much this entire half. Naf as well peering in towards T mid.
There's only one man over there towards B. That is going to be JKS. You can see Rain starting to try and get a feel for that. Has now support rotating on in from Karrigan and Guardian. Just as you say, though, Naf's actually rotated on around to try and help out inside this B-bomb site. They also have that quick rotation from Azza, and that's proved crucial in a lot of these B retakes when it comes down to it. This time, the one difference is that Olofmeister actually be waiting over towards Ivy, wants to try and come in with the late lurk. Perhaps sort of shut off the rotations from Ustillo. It does, however, rely on the rest of his team actually getting this bomb down out on B, and that's what you want to see. JKS has fallen. Naf tries to get the trade, to be able to get one, but Guardian's there to answer straight back. And FaZe, they want to try and end this here and now. They've got a taste of what it means to win rounds, and now they're addicted.
Well, Azza's the next one up. He's coming in on the flank. Ustillo going to try and get up top. It's a 3-on-4. They have the kits. They have a little bit of utility, but Ustillo has no head. Nifty's now going to make something work, but it might not even matter. Guardian's got 2 kills, and Nico closes it out. It took a long time. It took all 4 timeouts from the FaZe side of things, but they did eventually figure out the winning recipe. And Renegades, a huge comeback. They're going to be feeling a bit sad after that one, but there is something to be said about the fact that they made that competitive down the stretch. Well done from them after an abysmal first half. 16-13, and FaZe goes 3-0 in the opening night of group stage. Very, very impressive stuff. We're going to head over to the desk for the GoDaddy recap for Group B.
The GoDaddy post-match breakdown.
Wow, from a 13-2 half, and the Renegades show a backbone and vigor that we haven't seen from them in previous iterations and in previous tournaments. This is exciting. I'm joined by YNK and Chad Birchall just to round out the day.
It truly is, Alex, and you wonder what might have been if they didn't lose that 5v3 in the first half on the reset round, right? That's where you're thinking, okay, they're actually doing this. They're going to force FaZe to go on a proper eco. They're going to get some breathing room, but then, you know, everything turns on its head, basically. FaZe managed to claw that one back from the pits, and that really seals the deal for that first half. And, you know, yes, Renegades did make it competitive in the end, but time before they would really close out the game, they were probably a bit complacent because of how big of a lead they actually had.
Yeah, I mean, and they were not without their chances as well. There were so many rounds, Chad, which, you know, top flip of a coin. We had Nifty's 1v2. There was lots of instances where it looked very close to becoming
scrappy.
a reality.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of scrappy Counter-Strike in that first half, especially from Renegades. You look at the fact that one of the 2 rounds they won in the first half, it was JKS winning 1v3 with the bomb not even being planted, right? So that's FaZe almost gifting him that scenario, giving him all the 1v1s when they don't really have to. There was another situation, I think it was a 2-on-4 that Renegades kind of, you know, lost, gave away. Karrigan had to clutch the 1v2 against, maybe it was Ustillo and Azza, I'm not quite sure. Yeah. But those kind of scenarios, if they had gone the other way, we could have seen better things coming up for Renegades in that first half. It just wasn't to be. But yeah, I agree with your original sentiment that this is a form of Renegades that we've never seen before. The fact that they can come back, sure, complacency from FaZe would have played a factor. There would have been those things. But once it gets to that point, FaZe is like, all right, let's finish it now. They still stood up. They were finding so many opening frags on their CT side. That was great. Naf being very active. I love to see that. And when you're poking and prodding in that regard, it makes it very difficult for FaZe to execute. You see how that dropped off, though, when they lost that last round. they didn't have any aggression or map information, and just an inside execute and away she went. JKS misses a shot, and
but I mean, it was hard work, hard graft for FaZe Clan, and one of them, of course, the integral members of that squad is their leader, their fearless leader, Karrigan, who used every single one of the available timeouts to finally squash the Renegades. He's standing by with Trez now.
All right, well, I'm here with Karrigan. Caught me a little bit off guard. Doesn't usually happen. But either way, one thing that you're not going to see off guard is FaZe. Right now, you guys are coming in hot. Talk to me a little bit about that W.
It was a hard one in the end. I think we were a little too overconfident in the beginning. We didn't play our game, and it felt like we had one of those issues like we had against G2. On our part, a big lead, and can't really close out in the end. But I'm just happy we can adapt late round, and people come in with some great ideas that we're able to close out the win.
So, I mean, I guess we can expand on that a little bit. I know you're doing the leading over there. You're doing the calling. Talk to me a little bit about that role within this lineup.
Of course, I'm
Team 14, both teams 0 and 2. Yeah, there is a whole lot going on. That's actually on the secondary stream, by the way, that you'll be jumping over there once we've said our goodbyes and shown you the standings. You can do that now, actually, when we go ahead and run through them all. So here we have, over in Group B, the one we have just kind of closed out towards the second half of our day. We've had FaZe getting themselves 3-0 harder and 3-0 as well. Bear that in mind. Liquid with 2. Renegades, a hard battle for them, and 2 very close losses versus some of the cream of the crop. It puts them at 1-2. Optic, haven't seen too much from them yet with a 1-1 split. And Gambit G2, both locking horns now. Only one will manage to get a win in that column, and that is happening right now. Last couple of rounds being played out on ESL_CSGO B. And here into Group A, we do have SK holding the same spot that FaZe do, so no surprises there. In fact, the only real surprise from this group was that of Cloud9 doing fantastic work. A 2-0 from them. Astralis, you may see at the bottom, there's a caveat to be added to that. We got to see the Danes operating at a limited capacity with the absence of device. Mongols, as expected, struggling to put anything on the board as the underdog of the tournament, and then IP in that middle ground as well. That is the day in under wraps. I think the only question I'd ask before we kind of close things out, guys, is, you know, what was your biggest takeaway from today? Who stood out? What are you going to be kind of thinking about when you come in tomorrow?
I think for me, it's just SK and FaZe performing to the level that we know they can. Those two are number 1 and number 2 in the world, respectively. So that's something that I think we can look towards as a positive as we move forward to the playoffs and the semifinals.
Anything from you, Yenko, in particular?
Well, considering how, you know, Gambit has been struggling a little bit, and Renegades got that win over G2, whether they will be able to capitalize on that win and maybe sneak through to the playoffs.
So it would be outrageous considering the group they're in, with the teams they're in, and their last-minute addition. But we'll talk all about that tomorrow. This is just the first day, and it's already been a bit of a blockbuster. Guys, tomorrow we'll be right back. I'm talking about exciting, not as in the failed VHS store. SK Astralis, Envy Cloud9, and we get to see Cloud9 SK as well. Before the tiebreakers, whether we need them, that is of course to be considered. You're going to be seeing FaZe Gambit, as Yanko's already suggested, that Karrigan has already given them a whole lot of respect. We'll be seeing that tomorrow. G2 will be battling versus Liquid, and we'll get some FaZe Liquid as well. All right, guys, we are going to be back with tomorrow's games at the same time tomorrow, so join us. And ooh, an angry Kjaerbye and more. Lots to be looking forward to as you return for day 2 tomorrow.
All right, guys, and welcome back. It's time for our final match of the day, and it's a good one here at the IM Oakland B stream as we start off the groups and finish off the day with a very roaring match between...
Come on, pep up, man. Let's go. Let's
What?
get them all excited.
We're
Big
excited.
match right here.
Yeah.
Woo!
G2 going up against Gambit.
Yeah.
Should be a nice one.
How did Gambit finish at the major?
Number 1.
Yeah.
I
You get to watch the major
I thought that was a trick
champion.
question for a second. You threw me off
Yeah,
there.
it's like, ooh, Gambit. Can't be. But it is.
Yeah.
They're a sick team. They're 1-1, right? Actually, no, they're 0-2.
They're both 0-2, actually.
So they lost to Optic on Train. They got smashed. It was like 16-7, 16-8, something really like that.
Mhm.
And then they just lost to Liquid in overtime on Mirage. Believe it or not, Liquid won an overtime match on Mirage. So we can dispel that myth about Liquid and Mirage. Anyway, we're going to be moving into Overpass, right?
Correct. I believe we are. That's going to be the map that we'll play on here for our final match. We should be getting started in just a second. I think we're just waiting for G2 to unpause the game as it's already live in the pistol. So as soon as they unpause that, we are going to be good to start off this final map. And this is rounding up the day. Like I said before, guys, I believe the mainstream is also having their last match going right around now. So we should both be concluding right around the same time. But this is important for both teams. An 0-3 record. I'm not sure exactly if 0-3 in this format means direct elimination or not.
Yeah, probably not a good thing.
No, I mean, regardless, it's not a good thing.
It's
But
pretty-
I don't want to say they get eliminated because I don't want to be wrong. more
Yeah,
so
it's
than
pretty
anything else.
crazy that it's these two teams that are like first on the chopping block if you think about it.
You're right, because you think these are like the powerhouse teams out of this group
Yeah.
coming over from Europe and everything like that. You expect them to come out on top when it's not. It's been like Renegades and Liquid beating them, and and obviously FaZe beating them in most circumstances here. So it's been a really weird group so far throughout its course of play. And of course, we are going to be figuring out now which of these two teams will at least get to have one win on their record to round out the day, and which team will go 0-3, which is certainly not good, to say the least.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I wonder how many more tournaments we're going to say this groups didn't really go as expected type of message, you know? Like how many more tournaments in a row are we going to say that? Anyway, we're going to go right into the pistol round here. Looks like a heavy stack towards KPCs, which is kind of standard. Getting that sandbag boost. 2 facing towards 1B. Flashes over. 4 tickets fast. Are there any scopes on site? Is there anything heaven? Anyway, it's going to be even trades 3v3 in the site. T seems somewhat corralled. Apex is creep up. Getting none. Seems a little bit diverted in attention. Switching between 2 guys in a trend. I think he feels one towards down. I'm not sure if he heard him.
Ooh, Fitch
is
with
gonna
another
get that
nice
quick
pickup there, too. He's going to be able to take down Body, leaving only Shux in this fight, and he's been flanked out at Monster. In a second, he's going to realize he's been completely surrounded, too. There's also another guy at Construction. Just no open options, really, for Shux to work off of here, and he still really will have to move in and hunt down all 3 of these kills unless he somehow sneaks in the full 5-second fuse. Highly doubt that's going to happen, and now it's 6 HP. It's only a matter of time before we see him get eliminated. He tries to sneak out of the sight, but not going to happen. Doja takes him down, and it's Gambit to start off 1-0 here. The pistol victory going in their favor.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of looking up Gambit's Overpass results right now on my phone because I've never seen them play Overpass, and I kind of want to get an idea of how strong they are at it. It seems like they'd be the type of team that'd be good at it because they're really good at just a teamwork-based approach. I know that's kind of a cop-out in how general it is, but I feel like just their style lends to it.
Well, we'll see if that carries through throughout the course of this match. So right now, Gambit are going to be continuing forward, ready to find some impact against these G2 Force buys. Not even really Force buys, just pistol buys for most players. The Apex and Body fully commit to the Force. Hobbit will be forcing Shux out of position, but it's Apex that gets the kill and more importantly trades out Hobbit there, keeping it down to an even 4v4 and now pulling back most of the G2 roster to just the sites. They don't have any presence outside at short A or long A for that matter. Fitch is going to move in, has a great angle to try and pick up an early heads up, primarily Doja, as unfortunately Adrian just gets wrecked back on the other side of Semi. Down to NBK, trying to clutch this for his team in a 1v2. At the very least, they've made it a very expensive round, but Doja will come out on top.
Just watching NBK's form on the last map, that was actually really scary, right? I was kind of worried for Gambit there. That seems like a spot that NBK gets at least one from. The movement, though, is on point, dodging those deagle builds. Seems like Gambit is going with more of an aggressive approach. So that first just around and then the anti-force buy round was a lot faster than you normally see them play. Maybe they're feeling a little bit like they just want to kind of just play, right? They don't want to go through this like machinations of like a slow default. You know, it's getting late at night here. I think they just want a game and headshot. go a little faster.
Trying to change things up a little bit. We do see Gambit busting out into the B site, and it's, again, very, very quick from them. Also, Hobbit just going hunting for more kill pickups here. Already found Apex. And the rest of G2, unfortunately, again, is not really going to be in a position where they can do much. Sort of stuck up at the A site. Default pistols for 2 of them. Well, just PT-50s for the others, of course. Yep. So really nothing that's attainable here. Gambit are going to walk right through this round and set themselves up at a 3-0 start.
Yeah, I like the attention to detail, too, from Gambit, where Adren and Hobbit, the SMG players, have no utility on them, so if they were unfortunate enough to go down, they wouldn't be, shedding that extra bit of money that they could have just not bought, right? Because they're expecting a super weak buy on the opposition. They don't really need all the... Right? Because if he had lost utility there, just they're meant to go find people anyway.
Yeah, Mo nicely done on the cleanup here. Gets a quick little 4K for himself. Mopping up a G2 shot. That will give Gambit security in their lead to start things off as we get into the first gun round. And we see investments coming across the table for G2 now.
Of course. Blackamov.
What's up?
The Ob Blackamov. It's one of the few skins that's worth more if it's a battle scar.
Oh, really?
Interesting. Anyway.
Is that a Mo?
Yeah, he has it's like a, looks kind of worn down.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, this is an interesting setup for P2. One guy at P2 long A and 2 in connector. I don't see this very often.
Got Shox holding behind the tree, and he's already going to be able to find some impact from this position. Very well done by G2. And they pick up a combined total of 3 kills. The bomb goes down as well, so now Doge is going to have to try to push back in, use utility to be able to restore control of the bomb. And even that's going to be difficult to grab. Finds the op, at least if he wants to work with that. But before going into the bomb, we'll throw out the pop flash. And actually, he's not even committing to go get the bomb yet. He peeks Kenny S, and Kenny's ready to take that fight. Down goes another one from Gambit. Just Hobbit left alive here. They're trying clutch against an impossible situation. A full-on 5-man play from G2 that he'd have to win against here. Shot from Shox gives him a small window, but Shox will still take him down, securing the first gun round for G2.
That is such a ballsy setup that G2 just did. Right, because that's a bonus round for Gambit. It's very likely that they could just hit B.
Сегодня мы полезем вон туда.
Will more than likely be an A hit. It's also going to have to rotate back up and regroup with the rest of this team. But they're doing something interesting. The 2 guys on A are actually going to try... Oh, this is not working. There we go. They're going to try and boost over the fence to get themselves a little bit of better vision. But...
Now they know where the other guy is.
Yeah.
A la cash quad boost.
I'll have a bit of a bitter effect, unfortunately, there, as Mo just snipes the guy up on top of the boost right out of his position. Hobbit also holding the flank, make sure NBK won't get anything done. It's just up to kill. So they all clean it up nice and easily, and that gives back Gambit control and resets the losing bonus for G2. They should still potentially buy up at least a half buy here, but besides that will be a full eco for them.
Yeah, I mean, they won the first gun round very convincingly. I think they get 4 alive. So their money isn't horrible right now if they full save here, which they basically are. Then, decent buy an extra. But, it's not the best start. This is a map where G2 in the past, when they win matches on it, they're usually close matches. And the reason they win it was because their CT sides are so good. Right now, the best thing you're looking at is, best case scenario 11-4 if they somehow pull off a miraculous victory this round. More likely 10-5, but that's still running the table after this round and ultimately low probability. I don't know, Blue. I don't know.
It's not looking good, to say the least, here for G2 at this point in time. And so now Gambit continue to actually take their own time.
It's looking grim, kind of like the ghost on the side of that gun. Looking grim for G2. Look at this stack, though. I don't think I've ever seen that stack. It's like 2 people on... There's 4 people outside of the bathroom.
They did a little... Oh, no, it's not even a boost. It's like a 2-man stack there, and then they've got Body on the outside with Shox playing for early intel. Problem is... So Gambit are going to walk right around them.
Oh, look at
If anything, this screws over Adren. So they're going to kind of meet right over here now. Oh, and actually, no, Adrian's allowed to get away with this first kill. Grouping up with the rest of his teammates. And while Kenny S sneaks off 1 kill, kind of expected we see at least that. They will very much struggle to get anything else. There's one from Apex. Still a 1v3 sit against him and has to run away from that nade. Hobbit will take him down, securing the round for Gambit, and they go up 5-1. Why do...
Oh, he goes for the glass cannon. He's all in. Kenny S. I think I remember, not Moo, but Hobbit wielding an op a few rounds ago when they won that round at A. I think he picked it up just so he could ditch it after they won the round. Just to make sure, you know, none of the CTs picked it up.
Well, we are going to see quick push out to water. Body is able to actually take down the first player as they boost up behind the pellets, but a bit of a response against him in terms of the HP battle. No actual kill though, only brings it down to about half HP. This is going to cause the rest of Gambit to pretty much halt in their tracks here. Couldn't really pick up from Gambit, now they got to follow, or from G2, excuse me. Now Gambit will have to follow it through, look for a way to get revenge upon this.
I think those flash pings were a little bit mistimed with the peak, right? It seemed like it blinded the CT after the guy died. So it was pretty significant, right? It's because there's obviously some time involved with killing the guy as he gets to death. The body's going to be flirting with that short push. Flash is good, but Hobbit's hard enough to get away. Hobbit's going to be pushing. That signals to me, you know, if I'm G2 and I see this guy playing this aggressively, it's almost like a tell that it's not going to be B. Right? Like if they were going to execute B, do you think they really be doing this at this frequency? Probably not. Like this sounds kind of ridiculous. Like if you hear him running back and forth, throwing flashes.
Well, it wouldn't be realistic here. So now we do see Gambit getting ready to swing up towards the A-bomb site, get security over that for themselves. Shocks is going to have to be careful here because this is going to push him back. Thankfully, it pushes him back into a pretty safe position. Now the rest of Gambit push forward. Shocks will hold on the outside of the bathrooms, and this is forced hand as well because you'll remember he wasn't playing here before. Both Mo and Hobbit are going to be able to trade out kills, but they do not have a lot of time to get the plan. And there is still a lot of CT presence here. This is a lost round if I've ever seen one, and that will indeed be the case. G2 shut it down, getting their second onto the board finally.
Yeah, Shocks played that short A. I call that sand because it sounds like sand when you're running on it. Some people call it banana. It's shaped like banana. Short A. He played that bathroom area amazingly. Like 180ing, killing the guy that came out long, going back to short, getting that 2K. Sure, only they got 2 kills, but it's just like very tough situation to do it in. And I think I was singing high praise of NBK after their last Cobble match. We cut the other guys bright light. And he's on 0 frags right now, so let's go, Nathan.
0-5 for him. Of course, still plenty of time to redeem and prove himself throughout the rest of this match. And we've got Gambit once again spreading out here, pushing their players into all facets of the map. Trying to get some control.
NBK's going for a monster pick right now, maybe getting flashed out. Hobbit kills
by Hobbit. Oh, Body gets the kill though. He's able to move in there and knock out Hobbit at least, so keeps G2 at a slight advantage here.
It's actually pretty meaningful, right? Because now their long A guy has to go back, get the bomb, question whether or not somebody pushed through B and has a lot of info. So Gambit's basically going to have to make a choice, decision, some kind of mid-round call here in the dark.
Oh man, that's a...
Oh, I don't even want to talk about that.
That's unfortunate.
It's just one of those things that happens.
Just gotta live your life,
right?
You
like
know?
if he can do that, if that can happen to Kenny, then you know,
can happen to you.
What can you even say about it at that point, right?
Yeah, so Kenny with a bit of a whiff there, and that's going to end up costing him in a pretty bad fashion. Shocks and Apex will redeem the G2 strategy in this round, however, and now leaves Doja alone. One final kill from Apex. G2 close out, and they're just 2 away from the tie now at 3-5 overall, and Gambit should be on an eco on this round, I believe. So more than likely, easy closeout.
I mean,
for
5
G2
rounds
again.
already. Like 5 rounds. Pretty decent here so far for Gambit, right? I'd say Overpass is like a 10-5, 9-6 type of map for team. Like if you were playing against an evenly matched team, so Gambit has a decent start. Obviously, big bolster by the win.
NBK quickly scoping in to be able to find a first pickup over against Hobbit. He's going to look for more here too, but he's got to be careful. Pressure has pushed itself past Monster. The quick shot, though, gives him a second kill, but Mo coming in just as quickly also knocks out NBK. For security to be able to get that bomb onto the ground, they are managing to do that, and the CTs missed their Molotov there too, I think. Now Mo moves in. I think he just got a double, but Shox coming in on the backside picks up 2 more kills. Adrian now trying to hold from within pit. He's been spotted too. Quickly swings out into the open, trying to find a kill on a body, but it won't happen. Shox should be able to roll right up, defuse the bomb, and find that 4th pickup for G2.
So G2 did that same setup that they did on the first gun round this round, right? NBK was alone at B, and he got 2. That was so risky, right? Like, if Moo didn't get blind jumping back towards Monster there, I mean, that could have been a complete disaster.
But thankfully they managed to hold on to it even after we saw Mo showing up there with a nice little double op shot that he picked up for himself. So that does
Ragtag by.
Yeah, it's still weird too, right? Because they just ecoed in the last round, didn't they?
I think they bought pretty hard because they got the bomb down too.
Yeah, but they only had pistols as far as I can remember to start anyway.
Yeah, but I mean they had 1900 in the bank, so they get what the next.
Oh
round?
yeah, if they only had 1900, then that makes
right,
sense.
so around there, right? So
Yeah.
I'm sure some people had more or less. So I think they bought pretty hard because they got a bomb plant too.
I guess they just had more money than them. So going into this round though, it's going to start off a little bit better for G2. Body Shox all picking up kills. Shox holds his ground. Will lose his teammate, but goes back in for one more pickup. He's got to be careful because he is now alone on this site, but so is Doja, unfortunately, even after that double kill there. Still's going to have to go up against both KennyS and NBK, both of the oppers. And he's actually backing completely away from the B site to look for options somewhere else on the map here.
I like this though. I like these kind of like super heavy pressure type strats that they run. Like it's very like trade dependent. I think that's what I'm noticing from Gambit is like their strats are very much revolving around getting trades and timing peekings and flashbangs. Because in terms of like weaponry right there's no way Gambit should even be in a 1v2 right now. Like they should just get wiped. So good nade placement. So. And what this does is it puts the CT economy in the back foot, right? Like they save 2 ops, they're gonna have to rebuy. Right, so as soon as Gambit went around, they have a chance of, you know, having a reset in the near future thereafter.
It's gonna be the key though for Gambit, is actually closing out on a round here. Is these past few, they've come close in a couple situations, but unfortunately have ended up in like 1v3s or 1v2s, and they really haven't been winnable 1v2s in a lot of these situations, or 1vx's. So needing to just keep more players alive in general on some of these takes. Don't seem to have an issue with getting site control. It's more of just the post plants really dirty. For the most part, G2 are able to deal with them pretty easily.
Again, heavy A setup, 3 dedicated bathrooms. What happens if they walk out B? You know?
It'd be quite the easy take, but that's not happening at this point. Adrian is already able to deal with the first response player instead of bathrooms. Now they got to deal with Kenny though, and he's not so forgiving. Picks up 2 quick kills against both Doja and Adrian, leaving only Mo and Hobbit as well, who's already been spotted by KennyS. So they know he's sitting behind that. Hobbit, of course, should have seen Kenny too from that jump up there. Just a matter of time until they try to find a way to counter him out, and that will come in the form of a boost, but look at Kenny wrapping right around him, but actually he doesn't even stay alive. Hobbit's going to end up getting the better of Kenny, taking him down. That trades it, bringing us down to a 2v3. Heavy damage against Hobbit though, because he did get hit by Kenny's op before going down, but it was through a wall, so only brings him down to 24 HP.
Yeah, which shot was that? Was that when he was jumping up for the boost?
I think so, yeah. It's like right as he actually successfully hit the jump boost, or hit the boost.
I always wonder why that second guy that peeked Kenny after Kenny got his first kill, why? Like, that's such an op overpowered angle. It's almost like when people know it's Kenny opping, they want to go down as like a loaded Kenny with an AK. Moo's going to have not a lot of time. here. It's going to be hard clutch to win. Body full HP.
Plant body as well, of course, killing Mo's only remaining teammate before, getting very close to the kill, but Mo just barely escapes from behind the dumpster. And now he's looking for revenge against Body, but Mo's got to be very careful. If he's smart, he'll play this on the timer and try to trick Body a little bit here. Body not wasting any time. He's already jumped onto the defuse. It's off of it, though. Just a bit of a fake to start it off. He's now going to look for the peek from Mo. Goes directly for the kill, but no, that's the mistake. Mo is ready to hold that, and he wins the 1v1, giving the round back over to Gambit, and finally putting another one up on the board for themselves after 5 straight from G2.
That's a tilt, pause, and look, just as we said, as soon as they went around, the reset. Kind of anecdotal, but I feel like I've seen Mo, I don't know how to say it, everyone get mad at me on Twitter. Whatever.
I think most people say Mo.
What I was going to say is that I feel like he comes up with these crazy clutches when he has low HP. Like, I feel like I've seen him do that so many times. Maybe it was a major, maybe it was a tournament after that. It's like he just, like, grinds it out. He just gives him this, like, grimy, like, crouch slide as soon as he peeks him. Sure, Body didn't help himself, like, running the whole way there, but pros don't fake.
Very, very
Especially
true.
when you are occluded by an unspammable object. And you know the guy's low, so he's disincentivized to peek. Right? All these things factor in.
They all add up at the end of the day.
Synergy. Lead to a decision.
And so now, guys, this becomes, of course, a bit of a walkover round for Gambit to sort of reestablish their lead a little.